I'm Danny Gurry, and you've tuned in to Good Morning Frederick. It's a podcast, well, about Frederick. Everything, the people, the businesses, the nonprofits, and the cool stuff. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Good Morning Frederick.
The big smile, she brightens up your day, fills up your day.
What'd you say now?
Auntie Danny show.
Where? Where's Auntie Danny's show?
Right here.
How do you know that?
Yeah.
Say hi, Auntie Danny.
Auntie Danny.
Say I love your show.
I love your show.
And I love you.
I love you.
Oh, yeah. Got to get my morning started with that, especially today. It is Friday, October 4th. I'm your host, Danny Gurry. Good morning, Frederick. You know, I'm going to start off this Friday. I know it's not a great way to start the day, but the footage that I've been viewing from the devastation from Hurricane Helene is gut-wrenching. It's horrifying. And it's disappointing that our U.S. government seems to be doing nothing to help millions of people. The news is reporting up to 200 dead when videos on TikTok are talking about thousands. Many of the donation lists that they're asking for, including food and water, obviously, medication, are body bags. I just saw a video this morning of people from the Appalachians, as they call it, saying their bodies in trees, in streets, everywhere. It's horrifying to me. But Americans are a good people. Huh. And we're going to do what we can to help. We're not going to wait for the government. We don't do that. We step up. And right now, we have a bunch of organizations locally. We have just local, everyday people loading up trucks, loading up vans, loading up whatever they can, and heading to North Carolina, which seems to be the most horrifying place, especially in some of these remote areas. Right now, there are, I've watched a lot of flights. Pilots are flying in helicopters. They are flying in small planes, and they are taking whatever they can and trying to get to the people. I saw a woman on TikTok whose friend delivered her diabetes medication via a drone, which is phenomenal. This is why we should be using that technology. It's how we should be using that technology. This is what we should be doing. You know, I thought Amazon was going to be delivering stuff by drones. Why aren't they stepping up and sending these people the stuff that they need? These people have now been without power, potentially food. They can't have any frozen goods left. How are they cooking things? They are literally without food and water for more than a week now. All right. But we have a bunch of great organizations stepping up. Now, if you go, and I'm just going to jump here real quick to our calendar. If you go to promocircus.com, of course, click on the Everything Frederick calendar, which I got to move around here. You will see that I've have it set up so that it is every single day from now through November 30th for now. You will see I have hurricane relief efforts. It's every single day. You'll see it every single morning. And in that list, you will see, and I'm hoping, let me see if I click on this. I'm hoping you guys can share this tab. Okay. So when you click on it, one of the big ones is our friends at Pulling for Veterans. So if you see, they are collecting at a bunch of places. The Orioles Nest on West Patrick Street, Home Depot store on Urbana Pike, Home Depot store in Ranson, West Virginia, the American Legion. You see that there are times when they are collecting here. They have to get volunteers to staff these times to fill the trailers that they have set up at these locations. Okay, so please do not just go to Home Depot anytime that is outside this, because the employees are not going to know what's going on, right? There's a trailer in the parking lot. Pulling for Veterans is scrambling to get their trailers out to as many places as possible. And you can drop stuff off there. So Mountaineer Meat Smokers, it looks like, in Martinsburg, Neon Moon Tavern in Martinsburg, Brunswick Crossing Community is doing a collection. There is also a QR code where you can donate to Pulling for Veterans. They are a 501c3. Your donation may be tax deductible if you care about that sort of thing, but they're going to make sure to purchase the items that you can see in this list, supplies that are needed. They are looking for tons of stuff that they want to send down there. So they are making a couple of runs. They're doing their first run. I'm sorry, I got to look at the thing here. October 13th, they're going to be doing the first run. So that's next week, next Monday. So you have this weekend, do your shopping, drop your stuff off, contact Pulling for Veterans. We'll figure it out. If you want to drop stuff off to the home of everything Frederick this weekend, or if you want to message me, you can leave it on my porch and I will get it to them, whatever we need to do, right? Because this is what we do. This is what Americans do. We help. Oh, God. We help people. And we're not going to wait. I'm telling you, those videos are horrible. Don't watch them. They're awful. And it's awful to think that these people feel stranded and they feel like forgotten. And we don't want that. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get it together, but it's really horrible to think about the government not stepping up. We should not send one more dollar overseas to anyone. We should not send one more dollar to any other country. What are these other countries doing for us right now? Freaking nothing. No money should leave this country until these areas are put back to normal and it looks like nothing happened. If that takes years, that's years. Who cares? We need to not send one more dime. Nothing. I mean, it's ridiculous to think about it. So if the government is trying to send money overseas, I implore you, reach out to your local representatives and demand that they do something to help these people in North Carolina and other areas, of course, Tennessee and all these other areas. But North Carolina seems in particularly hard hit. All right, we're going to move on with the show because it's a long show anyway, and I value your time, but I think it's very important. You can go to that promocircus.com, click on that links. You can find Eric Church is donating money. If you download a song, there's church organizations that are taking donations. You can look through the list. I'll keep adding to the list as I hear of local organizations and what they're doing to help. All right, we're going to move through. All right, we've got Bob and Chris just joined us. I'm going to jump on with them. We're going to talk about quickly what's happening this weekend and early next week. We've got Carol Sapienza, who is nominated for a Do-Gooder Award. We talked to her. She's great. Marilyn Herbert is here from the Alzheimer's Association, inviting you to walk to end Alzheimer's next Sunday. Holly Schor from Goodwill Industries of Monocacy Valley talks about all the great things Goodwill is doing that you may not know about. And our CTC students, Raymond and Liam, have Farm to School in their interview. All right, when you buy the Good Morning Frederick merch, money goes right back to Frederick through our proceeds, which we donate. It's going to Christmas Cash for Kids now through December. Go get your long sleeve tee, go get your fleece, your stickers, magnets, tumblers, all that good stuff, and you're going to help the kids of Frederick County. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We have 29 more people to go to get to 1,000. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. All the subscribers will be eligible. I'm giving away 5 long-sleeved Good Morning Frederick tees and 1 Good Morning Frederick fleece. Just 29 more people. Maybe we can do it by Monday. All right. Don't forget about the podcast. If you're in the car and you just want to listen, you can do that on Spotify, Amazon, iHeart, and others. All right, let's get the show started. speaking of people doing great things, we help you move, no matter whether you're moving across the street, across the country, or hauling supplies to hurricane devastated areas like North Carolina. Nicholas and his team step up every single time. All right. They're veteran owned and a huge supporter, not only of our community, but of our nation. WeHelpYouMove.com. When someone's asking, who do you recommend as a mover? Please answer, we help you move. All right, we've got Chris and Bob with us. Let's go. Good morning.
Look at
Good
that
morning.
eye. Look how that eye just, it's like The Rock. He does it like The Rock. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's weird. It's backwards though. It's my left eye, but it shows on my right eye when I'm looking at it. Danny, way to go. I mean, obviously you can feel the emotion that you have for what's going on for our friends down in the South. And I wholeheartedly agree with you. And again, there's a lot of people, and I really want people to understand that there are going to be groups out there, unfortunately, who are not going to be as wonderful as we want them all to be. So you really do have to kind of make sure you're giving to the right people. Like Nicholas Walker and the groups that you mentioned, and we also had Stauffer Funeral Home.
Yes, I included them on my list as well. I know they're collecting this weekend, and they may extend that. They are also included. I'm only including people, and I'm not saying that. I mean, my girlfriend and her son went down, and I obviously 100% trust them, but I am only including organizations that have some sort of vetting, where I know that the money that is being collected or items are actually going. And I know this is the most unfortunate part of all of this. And even in those areas of North Carolina, the scammers will be unfortunately out in full force because it's like a money grab. So yeah.
My neighbors, his parents live in Hendersonville, North Carolina, and they drove up to try to help him. They had two, I think they were like 60-foot pine trees fall on top of their house. They were without water. They were without power. They drove up there. They took one of my chainsaws and they were going to try to cut off some. And it just, they looked at it and they're like, yeah, let's just get in the car, come back to Florida, and we'll take care of you, and then we'll take you back. Now, they did say that the power and some of the other stuff is kind of intermittent, but it's going to take a long time. I mean, when one goes on, something else pops, and it is just going to be there. And they are lucky. They didn't have flooding. They just have trees coming down on top of their house. Yeah. They lived. They were very thankful, and, they'll spend a little time somewhere else. But there are so many people, as you mentioned, that don't have that. Towns completely wiped out. Their homes are completely wiped out, everything. I mentioned my sister, she lives down in Siesta Key, and her house was flooded. And I'm like, what do you need? And she's like, I just got to pack up what I can and then just tear everything down. And, they lost 2 cars, and, it's just, you feel fortunate if you kept everything and everything in your house is good. And, again, there's so many people who lost loved ones. Stuff can be replaced. People cannot be replaced. And so,
I think it's the disgusting part of this is that nowhere on our mainstream national news is it being reported on how serious this devastation is. That's the frustrating part. I'm still looking. I did a search this morning on the presumed dead, and they're saying 200, and there are entire towns of people that are missing, that are not, they're not to be found. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, you were talking about the videos, and I was talking to somebody, and they said they saw one of these divers who dove in on a car that was swept away, and they pulled the license plate, and they brought it back out, and the family standing there, and they're like, that's their car, and they're like, well, they're inside. And that's the kind of stuff people are getting. So you know what? When you didn't get the right order for your pumpkin latte today, you know what? I'm so sorry.
Right. Yeah.
People are
most-
dealing with, burying loved ones and finding loved ones.
Finding them. Yeah.
Most deaths since Hurricane Katrina, over 200, like you said, and it's so sad to see. But the amazing thing, and then I said this on air today too, is we live in such a caring community in Frederick, where we don't just help our own in this community, but we help others nationally in our country. And that's why, again, I've said it before, and I'll say it a million times, I love this community. Truly, we have a community of caring folks, and that's what makes Frederick so wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And there are so many people just right now stepping up and doing, whatever they can. And that's the thing. Look, each of us can only do what we can do. So it literally, if it's calling and putting pressure on your local representation, if it is $10, $20 to maybe somebody like Pulling for Veterans, if it's picking up an extra case of water this weekend when you're doing your shopping and dropping it off to one of the drop-off points, like those, you may think it's small, but when we all do that, it is large and impactful.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty.
And the other thing that I think that people should know is, look, don't try to jump in your car and go down there and do it yourself.
No.
People like Nicholas Walker has done, he's been to Katrina's and he's helped with other devastated areas. So he knows what he's doing. Other groups know what they're doing, and it's better that you just give to them and let them do what they do best.
Yeah, for sure. And I know that they are working with the American Legion in North Carolina, who's organizing to get even further down. So yes, having just random people show up makes more harm than good, I think.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
But let's all do what we can. I think that is I think that is a task we can all do.
Well, they'll all get back on their feet with the $750 that the government promised them.
I mean, I thought that was fake. I saw that come across my social this morning. I thought, okay, somebody's pulled something out of context or something, but I mean, I don't know. I can't even with them. I can't even right now. I'm so pissed off about the lack of seemingly caring about these American people. It just makes your head want to explode. Anyway,
on some lighter news, the Mets won, so Chris is happy.
I wasn't going to segue into that because, what we were talking about, but
it's okay. I know it's all good.
Very happy about that, and I was going to totally trash Philadelphia and the Philadelphia Phillies, but I can't do that now because there might be somebody in Philly helping out people in North Carolina, so I won't do that. But great cause, and thank you for everything that you're doing. Like Bob said, and you said, I want to reiterate something. One thing I've learned in doing Christmas Cash for Kids last year was everything does add up. Okay, we got to 118,000 last year. How? Why? Because $5 here, $20 here. Now we had bigger donations, obviously, from businesses, but it all adds up. 1, 2, 3, 4 things of paper towels, toilet paper. It adds up, folks. So if you're able to do so, please, let's help these people in North Carolina. It just goes to show you real quickly. You can't always depend on the government, which we all know, but you can depend on Americans.
Amen, brother.
So that being said, we're taking a look at news. A Sykesville man was arrested on Wednesday by the Carroll County Sheriff's deputies. Liam Renaro Greeley, 28, is charged with 8 counts each of possession of child pornography and distribution of child pornography. He is currently being held without bond. Now, this is the time of year where you're going to see deer, and I can tell you right now, I lost one of my mirrors because of a deer. They could be spotted near roadways any time of the year, but drivers should be especially vigilant in the fall. AAA is reminding drivers that October through December marks deer mating season, so the animals are more active and more likely to dart into the road. I mean, I can't blame the deer. You know, when on my single days, if I saw a nice young lady, I'd cross traffic of New York just to get to her too and risk getting hit by a car. So you can't really blame the deer on that. It's not worse than those long, lonely nights by yourself, I guess. But anyway, roughly 1.5 million deer-related vehicle collisions happen in the United States each year, according to the National Highway Safety Administration. While the vast majority of deer strikes do not involve serious injury, according to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, In the 10 years from 2013 to 2022, almost 1,900 people nationwide were killed in crashes involving animals, including 11 in Maryland and 37 in Virginia. Now, I was telling you, I was driving along 15, and a deer came, and this was during the day. A deer came darting on 15, and I went to avoid it, and it hit my outside mirror, my right mirror outside my car. Now, there were about 3 motorcyclists behind me who, if I wouldn't have been in front of them, they could have hit that deer, and it would have been an absolute disaster for those people on the motorcycle. So just be vigilant out there when you see when you're driving. Take it slow, because the last thing you want to do is hit a deer, and that damage to your car is not pretty. Taking a look at weather, currently cloudy skies, slight chance of a rain shower, high of 77. Tonight, a shower is possible early, low of 59. And taking a look at your weekend, Saturday, we're looking at partly cloudy skies, high of 78. And then tomorrow night, mostly clear sky, low of 47. So not too bad on Saturday, but you know what? Good news, Sunday. Mainly sunny, high 78. And then Sunday night, it might be cloudy and damp, rain early in the evening, then becoming partly cloudy, low of 58. So if you're looking to do something outside, do it early on Sunday, because it will be sunny. And Bob, you got some sports? Bob, you got some sports to talk about here?
Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers gave people on Thursday night a show to remember as Kirk Cousins. Remember him? He used to wear a Redskins outfit.
Oh, yeah. Always. Once we trade somebody, they do great.
He set a franchise record with 509 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, and a thrilling 36-30 overtime victory over the Atlanta Falcons. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Pete Alonso hit a go-ahead 3-run shot off of Devin Williams, and the Mets, the Miracle Mets, beat the Brewers yesterday by a score of 4-2. Their next chance to keep on moving, going against Philadelphia in the NL East Championship Series, the NLDS, I should say. I'm excited about this one. The Savannah Bananas they're coming to Camden Yards. I just put my name in the
lottery.
Oh, are you already in that?
As soon as I saw that TikTok this morning announcing their 2025 tour, yes.
Yeah.
But I need to go back in and put my husband in under, I did Baltimore, but they're in DC too, I think.
Oh, well, I just heard about Baltimore. So
maybe I just saw that.
They're going to be there August 1st and 2nd in 2025. So I have a feeling that we'll be reaching out, trying to score some tickets for that, maybe to give away, to this year's, I was like Christmas cats for kids this year, maybe. Hold on to them for next year. I mean, if you've never seen the Savannah Bananas, just watch them online. They're fun. They're the baseball's version of the Harlem Globetrotters, but they do play real baseball. And so they get to play. Caitlin Clark, WNBA Rookie of the Year. She won in a near unanimous vote. She got 66 out of 67 votes. Chicago Sky forward Angel Reese got the other vote. Chuck Foreman is on the short list of the NFL senior players category, the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The former Frederick Hike alumni and Minnesota Vikings should have been there a long time ago. And we've got high school football tonight on WFMD. Game of the week. It's going to be Walkersville and Frederick. So there you go. 6:30 kickoff on that one. That's a look at sports.
Very, very good. Lord, somebody's.
So do we seriously start off the sports with a regular season football game and not the Mets playoff game? Not that I'm complaining.
I just had to weave it in. It's weaving.
What do you think had more viewers?
Listen, that's okay, I get it, but we're talking playoffs here, Bob. We're talking playoffs, man.
You got second billing. What you're whining, you big baby? It's Friday. Go get a glass of wine or go to Lowe's, buy a ladder, get over it, and then ship it down to South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Georgia.
And maybe a protein shake, too. I'll buy a protein shake.
There you go. All right, fellas. Have an awesome weekend. We'll see you back here on Tuesday to Friday with these two. And we will see you guys later.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
See you later. All right. We are going to move very quickly right along. We're going to take a quick break. Then we're going to go over the calendar. We've got Carol Sapienza, Marilyn Herbert, Holly Schor, and CTC students, Raymond and Liam's Farm to School, with some people I think you'll recognize. That's all coming up just after this.
Real estate goddess, yeah. She's the one to get you there. Homes and dreams are perfect, yeah. Shadow family beyond compare.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget to use that code to get your Trek or Treat tickets. All right. Let's talk about what is happening in Frederick. All right. Happening in Frederick, sponsored by Atlas Wood Floors, serving the area for more than 34 years. Wood Floors, luxury vinyl plank, whatever you want to put on your floor, they can handle for you. If you want to see some new products, I'm sure they can find some good ones for you as well. Give them a call today. Atlas Wood Floors, 301-948-9663. That's 301-948-WOOD. Or you can go to atlaswoodfloors.net if you want to look at more information. But give them a call. Ask for my brother Jeff when you call and say, come on up and give me a quote. All right. So we already talked a little bit about where to find the calendar, which you guys know. My daughter and I have been adding in more and more events every single day. So when you get to the calendar, no matter where you find it, click on the agenda tab to see day by day what is happening hour by hour. You can see I have included the hurricane relief efforts with the little icons at the top. Generally, the little icons are really for me so that I know I'm supposed to stop and talk about each one of these things. So today, as you can see here, you can see Pulling for Veterans, Upper Deck Mount Airy, Mason-Dixon Mixon, Stauffer Funeral Homes. These are some national ones. Eric Church donating proceeds of the song. So all you got to do, if you like Eric Church, you get the song, money goes. Again, these easy ways to do things. And the United Church of Christ is doing a national effort as well. Again, tag me in ones that you see that are managed by nonprofits or other organizations, and I will add them to the list. Right now, I have the list going through the end of November, but we will adjust as we see needs to happen. The 9th annual Tech Frederick Games are going on in Baker Park today. You will see people out there, and it's really a fun time. Of course, the home of everything Frederick opens later today at 11 a.m. Stop by, get your Good Morning Frederick merch. Make sure you subscribe because we'll be doing that giveaway very, very soon. 21 people away. You can see all the high school sports that I have listed here. It is important to support local. So if you don't have anything to do one night and you see there's a local soccer game or volleyball game or football game, go out, take the kids. It's affordable and you can buy some stuff at the concession stand. That money goes right back into the school. Tomorrow morning, Key City Foundation's Oktoberfest 5K fun run in Baker Park. Register. You can register on site, but if you register online, use the code GMF 5K 2024. You save 10% off your registration. All the proceeds from this run benefit Key City Foundation, which gets kids into sports at no cost. So we love that they do that as well. Tons of other things happening this weekend. Of course, it's First Saturday, so you can come to the home of Everything Frederick from noon to 2. There will be a free fall fun craft for kids. Come by. You can get your Good Morning Frederick merch. You can do a craft and hang out. There's also a lot happening in the evening from 4 to 9 p.m. It is the Uptown Salsa Night. A bunch of the merchants have different tasting salsas to try along the walk up Market Street to Carmack J's, where they're doing free salsa and bachata lessons. And then there's a performance or performances by Fred Astaire Dance Studios. And then from 6 to 9 up at 6th and Market, which is where Old Mother Brewing is, they are having a dance party. And 50/50 is going to be serving up some smash burger tacos, which sounds good. And Old Mother's going to be serving up some margaritas, which is awesome as well. Okay, let's see. Must I talk about on Sunday? I think nothing that is in particular to the day. And I'm rolling along because I know the show's going to run really long already. All right, some key things I want to talk about for coming up soon. October 18th, Cocktails and Carbs event to benefit Hartley House. That is the Friday night before the October 19th Walk a Mile in Their Shoes. So how about spending Friday night and Saturday helping Hartley House, who helps so many people? It goes way deeper than just sheltering women and children. As if you've been around this town for a long time, you might know, I think this is their 44th year or something like that. So make this their biggest year yet. HartleyHouse.org. Canines on the Creek is October 26th from 2 to 5. So get your costumes ready for your pups, register them, and head down to the creek. And Second Chances Road Rally is November 2nd. All right. Who is doing good in our neighborhood? Well, we know of a lot of people for sure, but we're going to talk about this one in particular. Carol Sapienza is a recent transplant from the Leesburg area. She's a mom to 5 grown children, grandmother to more than a handful, and she's been in Frederick County for a while. But her presence is making an impact on her neighborhood. Let's find out why she has been nominated for a Do-Gooder Award. You guys get sick of hearing me say that this show has selfish reasons. I get to meet some fantastic people I didn't know before I started it. And Carol is one of those people. Welcome to Good Morning Frederick.
Morning, Danny, and good morning, Frederick.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you came across my desk because you have been nominated for a Do-Gooder Award. Those awards are October 10th, and I think tickets are still available if you go to, I think it's do-gooder.com, but I will put all of that on screen. Tell me a little bit about yourself first and how you managed to be nominated, if you know.
I do. So, first of all, I'm Carol Sapienza, and I'm a mom of 5, and those children are my greatest achievement, I feel. Besides that, my husband and I had moved up to Brunswick from Leesburg 3 years ago to a lovely community in Brunswick, and we started to walk our dog every day. And I would notice that, there's some trash on the ground. And at first it was just, let me just pick this up. And let me just get that. And it became a daily habit. And I suppose that's because A, I was brought up that way. B, it felt good to make the community look better. And at that point, after I started doing that, a couple of street lamps were missing from our community. One had been knocked down by an accident. A young girl had an accident, knocked it down. So I got on the phone, very politely talked to our developer, and asked for the street lamp to be replaced because Halloween was coming up and the children were going to be in the dark, walking in the dark, and I felt that was unsafe. And they agreed with it. So a couple of street lamps were put up in kind of record time, I guess, for the developer, according to what other people are saying. So it kind of took off from there. And that Halloween, because when we lived in Leesburg, we did not used to get kids coming to our house. Our homes were kind of rather far apart from each other. So kids don't come to those homes. So I made a ton of cookies because I am a baker, and I made a bunch of decorated cookies. I announced to our neighborhood through our Facebook page that I would be doing this, and I understood if anybody couldn't have these cookies for whatever reason, I would have some candy available. Well, we needed a traffic light at at our sidewalk.
Oh my goodness.
Apparently the neighborhood really did like the cookies. So it just, one thing leads to another, to another, to another. And I suspect that's what happens for most of us who like to do good and don't attach that name to it. We don't at all. I don't think of it that way. I don't do it for that reason. I'd rather people not really know about it because I'm not doing it for that reason. It almost feels like you're cheating if people find out about it. So this was my husband who had actually said, you do a lot in the community. And I was like, no, because I was surprised by this. I did not know about this. He had nominated somebody else for another award. And so I was quite surprised by this.
Oh.
It's
sweet because what it means, and I get it, like all of us are the same. Like you just want to do it and walk away quietly, and it's not the reasoning. However, I do think, and these events, and you'll see on that evening, it fuels other people to realize the simplest, smallest things. It's not about who can write the biggest checks. It is really about these small things that grow into bigger movements. And it does motivate other people, which I think is great.
That is always a good thing. Always. We've also started because of COVID, and we moved here a year after COVID had started. And I saw that there were very few groups that met back in 2021. So I like doing crafting. I know a number of people like doing crafting. So I said, let me find out if anybody else wants to start a sew and craft group. And we did. And we meet every other Tuesday in our community center, and the group is growing, and people come in and out of it occasionally. But I also felt we needed to do a craft fair then, because why not showcase these things that people were making? And they're not making a ton of money. That's not why they're doing it. It just gives us a good feeling. And it does bring the community together twice a year. We do it the day before Mother's Day and right before Thanksgiving. So that has expanded. And coming up, I have 23 vendors about to sell in November, which is phenomenal. And then our community comes and people are like, oh, I didn't know you had a sew and craft group. So by extension, this just builds and builds. And it's wonderful to see the appreciation.
Yes. And well, first of all, you have to send me all your dates so I can put them on our Everything Frederick calendar so I can let everybody else know. But the other thing that you're doing, and unintentionally, or maybe part of it, is building a community of people who know one another. They look out for one another. And who doesn't want to live in a neighborhood where you know your neighbors, you know you can experience stuff with them, become close with them? I think it is phenomenal. And how fun that you now have like this whole thing going. I love it.
Thank you. It is fun. You can come down and join us if you
You send me the dates and I am there. No problem at all.
Excellent.
And I love that it really just started with while you're walking the dog, because we do the same thing. You know, if you see something, you pick it up and you throw it away. But I love how it kind of grew from that, and you're bringing together an entire community. And I know your husband just wanted you to get a little bit of appreciation because you're still doing it and you're still bringing people together, which is fantastic. Now, what do you sew?
So I do all those grandchildren. I do nightgowns for the grandchildren, also little outfits for them. I do table runners. Danny, the idea is if I see something that somebody else has made, it's like, wait, they made it. Can I make it too? So I will research it, get a pattern maybe. I've always loved to sew. Crafting, I never thought I was creative, but a lot of people because I do cakes and cookies, a lot of people say this is your creativity, which I love because in art, I didn't do so well back then. I can't paint, but I can paint with royal icing and buttercream.
Well, let me just tell you, that skill, I've tried to do the close to almost ready to go. All you have to do is, I can't do it. So, and I see them and they make it look so simple. So yeah, I might have to come check that out when you're making cookies one day too.
You can definitely do that. I will hold a little class for you and how incredibly simple it can be.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, look, Carol, we think you're a gem. We are so honored you've made Frederick County your home and hope that your children and your grandchildren, when they visit, are they all still close in the area?
Some of them are still close down in Fairfax, down in Loudoun County. Yes. And
not too far.
All who are away are looking to come back because this area is just phenomenal. And we do absolutely love Maryland for your parks, for the vistas that you can be somewhere and 360. You see mountains around you. From here up to Frederick is gorgeous. I hope the farmland stays. We love it here. And we're just enjoying Maryland and especially Frederick County.
Well, and we are enjoying you, and we can't wait for more of your craft shows, and who knows what's next for you coming on the horizon. And we will see you on October 10th at the Do Gooder Awards.
You will. Thanks so much, Danny. Appreciate it.
All right. Want to thank Carol. Oh, isn't she a sweetheart? Love her. I think I do want those daggone cookies. All right, we're going to move right along.
This portion of Good Morning Frederick is powered by Ken's Automotive and Transmissions, Total Car Care. Need an oil change or brakes? Ken's Automotive and Transmissions can take care of that. How about exhaust or engine work? Ken's Automotive and Transmissions can do that too. No matter what you need for your car, Ken's Automotive and Transmissions is Total Car Care. Go to kenstrans.com to schedule an appointment today.
All right. Marilyn Herbert is inviting you to join her on a walk to end Alzheimer's. Here she is. Of Everything Frederick with Marilyn Herbert, the development manager for the Walk to End Alzheimer's, or the Alzheimer's Association here in Frederick, right?
Yes, that's correct.
I got it. Okay. The walk is coming up?
Yes, on October 13th.
Yeah. Happens at Key Stadium, right?
Yeah, we start out at Key Stadium, and then we walk down Market and around the School for the Deaf, Carroll, and part of Carroll Creek and back. So it's a little under 2 miles, but people can walk as far as they wish or turn around at the halfway point. Or they could do it twice.
Do whatever your heart's content. Just do it.
Just
get
walk.
out.
Just walk.
So, look, the Alzheimer's Association. Obviously, there's you guys collect money, and what happens with the money that you guys raise?
Yes, our everything raised goes to the Alzheimer's Association's efforts in funding research to find a cure ultimately, but in the meantime, treatments for those that need it, as well as risk reduction and initiatives that are healthy for the brain.
Yeah.
So that research. Then we have local and all over the country support groups, both in person and in virtually. So there's a wealth of education, resources, and support for people that need it.
Yeah.
And then thirdly, advocacy. In this, what we're calling the era of treatment, when so many things are available that weren't even available a few years ago, and then more coming, it's really important to be down there in Annapolis. We take hundreds of volunteers. We have some staff members focused on the advocacy efforts, but we're in Annapolis, we're on Capitol Hill, because it's so important to advocate for getting the treatments and the funding to those that need it now and will need it soon, because again, Alzheimer's and all other dementias are on the rise. Maryland has the highest prevalency, which shocked us at the association. Yes, and we have currently over 127,000 Marylanders living with Alzheimer's alone. That doesn't count the other dementias.
Wow.
So this is a crisis, and it's expected to cost our country $1 trillion by 2050 if something doesn't happen to slow.
Oh my gosh, that is shocking. That is shocking. I'm wondering why that's so weird.
We don't know. We just relieved that we do not think it's the Old Bay or the crabs.
Yeah, I hope not. Or
big,
the beer.
big relief,
No.
but it is a serious
Yeah,
concern.
it is for sure. Yeah, and it's serious because people are living longer as well. Because with Alzheimer's, generally, if they're in decent health when they get it, they can live for years.
Oh, up to 20 years. I mean, it's anywhere usually from 4 to 20 years, depending on other health concerns.
So then, as a family, you're dealing with a whole lot of other issues with that. All right. So, what happens during the walk?
Okay.
Explain how the day goes.
It is a great, uplifting, encouraging event, and we've been so lucky with beautiful weather the last 2 Octobers in Frederick, and so we're hoping this will pass and we will have a great weather on October 13th. We gather at the stadium. There's an event village with a kid zone, a fun zone, all kinds of resources. We have exhibitors and vendors, and they're not just from senior focused businesses and services, all kinds of vendors there showing, they're not selling anything. And there's no charge, by the way, to come and walk.
Yeah, so
even if you decide you're feeling up to it on the morning of October 13th, come on out, no fee to register, no minimum fundraising required. But we hope that you'll connect with our cause and see all of the people impacted. During the opening ceremony, we'll have our DJ out, and then Tom Whalen from the radio station will be out. He's our MC. He lost his twin brother to Alzheimer's disease.
Wow.
So he's connected to the cause as well. We'll have fun, uplifting music, and the ceremony includes a promise garden ceremony. You're holding this purple flower.
Yes.
Everyone at the event receives a flower with a different color representing their connection to the cause. So it's super powerful. Some people that raise the blue flower, which represents someone currently living with Alzheimer's or dementia, some of those folks, they raise their flower and they see other purple flowers and they really have never connected with someone else going through what they're going through. Then there's a yellow flower representing someone currently caregiving, or whether it be a family member or a professional caretaker, someone caring for someone with Alzheimer's or dementia raises the yellow flower.
Yeah.
And the purple flower that you have there, I brought that because it represents losing someone to the disease. In my case, I lost 3 people I love. 2 grandmothers. Both of those circumstances were different, and it was a while back.
Yeah.
But I lost
my grandmother as well.
I lost my boss and mentor and best male friend next to my husband, Mark. He was at the prime of his career in his 50s, and he developed Alzheimer's, but lost his position before he actually had a diagnosis. And Mark passed away at 62. And we loved him very much, but that was, it increased my understanding of how, yes, younger people can also develop Alzheimer's and dementia.
Yeah.
And it can affect not only a family and close friends, but a workplace as
Yeah,
well.
work family as well, especially so young.
Yeah. So we have that opening ceremony. It's pretty quick, 15, 20 minutes max. And then the start line is there, a big inflatable start line, and a lot of cheering and uplifting music, and we proceed walking.
So what are the hours of all of this happening?
The event village and the festivities begin at 11.
Okay.
And then that opening ceremy is at 12.
Okay.
Immediately with the walk coming out of the
very
ceremony.
Good. And then when everybody comes back, does it just wrap up?
Pretty much wraps up everybody. We have cheerleaders. Now, I don't know if we'll have actual cheerleaders or people with pom-poms and bells and stuff, but we have enthusiastic people cheering people as they come back through the finish line. And, we do have some snacks and things still available, free of charge. So sometimes Walker needs a banana when they come back.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you and all you're doing for our community, helping to raise money to help the people we love the most, or maybe even ourselves. You never even know. So we appreciate you, Marilyn. Thank you so much.
Well, I love what I do, and I hope more people will connect with our cause. And I wish there weren't so many of us impacted by it, but there are. And so that is why it's so important to find a cure.
It is important to find a cure. All right. Come on out to the Walk to End Alzheimer's. I'll put all the details on screen for you so you can check it out, even on the morning of. Come on out. There's no commitment to do anything, but just be around the people. Show your support for other people here in Frederick. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you.
All right. We got to take a quick break. Then we're going to be back with Holly Schor from Goodwill Industries of Monocacy Valley and the debut of Raymond and Liam's Farm to School interview. That's coming up right after this.
Cosmec Healing handcrafted small batch tinctures and transdermal salves, double third-party tested for quality you can trust. If you've got pain, headaches, or anxiety, our products are here to help you find relief. Patient over profits mindset, 'cause we're patients too. CosmecHealing.com.
Dream Free Art, Frederick's first and only splatter room. New location, new beginner-friendly artful shenanigans for all ages. Come fling paint and make a masterpiece in Dream Free Art Splatter Room, or join us for a fun and unique art experience. Book your next birthday party, corporate event, date night, or family outing at dreamfreeart.com to unleash your inner artist today. Dream Free Art. Free your creativity.
Don't miss Local Compass, your guide to worldwide travel, this Wednesday on Good Morning Frederick. From the experts of everything travel, Antietam World Travel Service. All right. A&S Construction, a local and award-winning woman and minority-owned business, and they're right here in Frederick. A&S Construction specialize in roofing and siding. They can also take care of windows, patios, decks, and don't forget about those gutters. They took care of our gutters. They put that metal grate on top so the water gets through, but the debris does not. So we don't have to worry about clogged pipes, downspouts anymore, and water flying up over the top when it rains. Call 301-703-2157 or email info@ansconstruction.net. Don't forget, you get that $750 off any roof or tile replacement, siding replacement, or $50 off any roof repairs when you tell Sandra Good Morning Frederick sent you. Yes, make sure you do that for sure. Danny and I recently had dinner at Sushi Nomu, and I've got to tell you, it was absolutely unbelievable. The decor, phenomenal. The food, just amazing. I had the best miso soup I've ever had. The sushi was so fresh and delicious, and it was actually a feast for the eyes. The presentation was stunning, and the service was impeccable. The sushi, fresh, the sashimi, the best I've ever had. I can't say enough great things about it. If you're looking for a great place, maybe to go on a date, or maybe just to try something new, it's affordable, it is beautiful, and you will not be disappointed, I promise. Sushi Nomu at sushinomu.com or 4969 Westview Drive, just beyond the Dunkin' Donuts. Ah, yes. Gosh, that is making me hungry. All right. Holly Schor has been in Frederick for just about 4 years, but with Goodwill for a decade. I sit down with her to talk about the impact that Goodwill is making in our community. Here's Holly. Home of everything Frederick, 401 North Market Street. I am with Holly Schor, the Executive Director of Goodwill Industries, Monocacy Valley. Did I get that all right?
You got that right.
GIMV. There we go. You know, we've talked about this quite a bit. I finally did the tour. Amazing what Goodwill Industries does outside of the clothing, the stores, the donations. So many programs on offer. And that facility on Monocacy Boulevard, chef's kiss. It is amazing. It really is. Why don't you talk about a little bit, how long have you been with Goodwill?
So I've been with Goodwill, our Goodwill, for 14 years.
Okay.
And I've been here in Frederick for 4 of those. The previous 10 I spent in Arizona at the Goodwill in Arizona.
Okay, and that Goodwill, I didn't want to say corporation, but the Goodwill from Arizona purchased this Goodwill location with Carroll County, Frederick County. Is that correct?
It's a merger.
A merger.
So we
Okay.
merged. Goodwills are regionally independent, so they run autonomously in whatever their territory is designated, and it's steeped in long history, tradition. Probably a whole other segment on that, but. This territory, up until 1969, was connected to the Goodwill of the Chesapeake, which is run out of Baltimore.
Okay.
Then it came out on its own independently, so Frederick and Carroll County. And then in the summer of 2020, there was a merger. So our Goodwill in Arizona is the largest Goodwill of the 152 regionally independent Goodwills. We are a really solid retail operator and run excellent mission programs. And it was in a position out here where they really needed a rebirth of their retail operations.
Okay.
And so that's where we inserted ourselves.
Yes, and for those of us who have been in this area for a while, you can see that the relationship with Arizona has affected and impacted in a positive way some of the refacing of the stores, including Route 40 has been redone. Beautiful inside. I mean, it literally looks like you're in a department store of any kind. Always clean, well lit. I love that.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like that's where that relationship
Yeah,
comes
that's
in?
our model. So our model in Arizona, we have, Arizona's broad, stretched out community. Lots of big box retail space came available in the mid 2000s during the recession. So our organization in Arizona was able to grow from 26 stores in Arizona to over 100 locations.
Whoa!
Because there was a lot of vacancies, and we became a great partner in the real estate world. That is very unique to Arizona, and not that we're not a great partner in the real estate world out here. We're unknown and unique out here in this market. There's actually 4 other Goodwill operators, or 3 other Goodwill operators, and then you've got Pennsylvania, which has a couple of operators. So our customers cross over. So if you shop in Hagerstown, you're actually shopping at a different Goodwill. If you shop in Germantown, it's a different Goodwill. If you go anywhere outside of Frederick and Carroll County, you're in one of 3 other Goodwill operators. So different experience, but we're really known in Arizona for our retail operations, and we've brought, I think, the best of in the conditions that we have here. So you're going to see that Willowdale was our Route 40 store through 21, and then we opened at the end of 21 the location in the old Kmart building, and we love that space. We have a new flagship store in Eldersburg, and then super exciting for Frederick, we've got a brand new store, ground up, first of its kind in this community, coming to Thurmont.
Wow!
Yeah, so
exciting.
We are so excited for the Thurmont community to have a larger footprint, a bigger store to shop in, and highway access, interstate access. You're right there by Weiss, and all of the kind of that entry point. So we think it's going to be a really great experience for all of Frederick County and our friends in the surrounding areas to access.
That's amazing. Okay, so you got the retail side of things, and I know. Was it when Arizona took over? I know the e-commerce side of things is pretty done really well here. I think when I first met a couple people, they were actually in the warehouse where everything kind of went to be put online. Is that still a big part of what Goodwill is?
I think what you'll see from us today versus 4 years ago is a more diversification of ways to really create revenue to support our mission initiative. So you mentioned the building and all of that. That is funded by our retail operations, including e-commerce. E-commerce at that 4 years ago was everything was going online and maybe the retail stores weren't going to have as large of a presence. We actually would like to grow to about 20 retail locations in Frederick and Carroll County. And then we still have a robust e-commerce division that is supported by the stores, but you're going to find more of our fine art collectibles, unique things that maybe aren't going to sell. Like I saw an instrument that needed to be restrung that maybe somebody walking into the store would see that as like just kind of wooden scraps, but there could be a collector online that's going to refurbish that and, gift it to somebody to play, beautiful music with, but that might not be the vision that you'd get shopping at the store. So we're looking at different ways to push different types of product to e-commerce. But yes, it's still a big part of our business.
Let's talk about the mission, because I think it's one thing that most people don't think about when somebody is saying, where should I donate stuff? And Goodwill should be top of that response and is not, and the reasoning for that.
Sure.
The mission is quite big, and it's a part of everything you guys say and do. Talk a little bit about the mission for Goodwill.
Yeah, so we have a vision to end poverty through the power of work. That changed 4 years ago, and it really drives every decision we make. So where you will see that showing up is inside our organization. So we support our team members with mission programming. You will see us partnering with a lot more community-based organizations. So we have really robust partnerships. We like to think of ourselves as a great support system in the workforce space. So you're going to see us supporting the community members and other nonprofits with lots of curriculum around helping people move to more sustainable living wages. And I think that's a big factor for many of us in this community. Cost of living is really high. It's challenging to be a business operator as much as it is to be a member of the community and raise a family here. So we are looking at things like we've built out programs around financial literacy. You'll see us show up in a partner organization like a SHIP or the YMCA, Boys and Girls Club. Those are the types of organizations we partner with to come in and teach that curriculum, maybe to a group of people. We're all serving a lot of the same people. So we're trying to not duplicate and we're trying to support. So that's a big piece of it. I think the other piece that is really important to us and a big part of our community and a big showcase is our veteran community. So we have Fort Detrick here, so we know we have a lot of active duty military, but we also have almost 400,000 veterans in the state of Maryland. And Frederick is kind of in a unique spot where we're about 45 minutes to an hour from really most kind of major points in the Maryland area. So our Veteran Services Center, which we partnered with Platoon 22, so we are the managing partner. We built the space. It's connected to the Goodwill offices, the Goodwill store, the Goodwill Career Center, but it's a standalone piece within that, what we call our main campus. And we fund that through our retail stores. And I think that's one of our best kept secrets to really kind of what our mission is all about. Really, we want to be, I think, people would be surprised where you'll find Goodwill.
Yes, I agree. And I think that that's something that should really be on the forefront. Also with jobs, I think the Goodwill of yesteryear was utilizing some people for their workforce, but you guys actually hire people who are just looking for a job, and with that, giving them opportunities to learn and grow, be educated, and move up within the Goodwill ranks. I think that was a really cool thing that came out of the mission tour that I did, which was really hearing those stories firsthand. Tell me a little bit about how that works.
Sure. So I like to call us a second chance employer, but not for the sake of maybe what people associate that with. We like to bring people into our organization and then help them identify ways that they can connect to our program. So we really believe that everybody that we have working for us, myself included, has had benefited from our mission work. And so we have a robust internal program that people can apply to become a part of. They get a dedicated career coach. They have robust curriculum, and we've seen some really amazing success coming from that program. We have about 23% of our employee base are actually enrolled in that program. And, just really amazing opportunities. And if people can't find their path to grow and those sustainable living wages, like continuing on through our organization, our goal is to help them land in their next career. So we love turnover when it's for the positive, right? When they're going and going out and working somewhere else and being able to say, like, my foundational leadership skills, or I learned how to be a manager, a leader, just overall great worker, contributor, because of my time that I spent at Goodwill.
Well, if there was one thing you'd want our viewers to know about Goodwill, what would that be?
Donations are the lifeblood to our organization. So when you clean out your closets, when you are getting ready to donate, we can turn those donations into really great treasures for other shoppers. I'm sitting next to somebody who loves to shop our stores, and we love that. But those dollars and those donations actually turn into really amazing programs. And I just hope that people might see the faces of their neighbors and their community members in those donations, because that's really who we're impacting and who we're serving. And I love that you want more people to know about us, and I do too, but I'm also okay that they don't, because I think we're woven in the fabric of Frederick, that, and I love that about what we're doing. I love when I can look out into different meetings and different events and know that we're playing a role in even helping, like, a Platoon 22 be able to grow and establish in-person programs. That's not about Goodwill, that's about us kind of being woven in that. So I guess those are like two things that I'd love for people to think about when they think about Goodwill.
That is pretty good. So right now, Frederick County has how many stores?
We have 5 stores in Frederick County and 3 stores in Carroll County.
And that's going to be maybe growing to 20?
Yes. So any of my real estate friends out there, please call me, because we would love to open more stores. Every store we open gives us a large dollar amount that we can put towards programming every year. And we really are in a position to grow our programs. We're seeing more and more people needing our services, and we can only do that if more stores exist.
Well, we love that. All right, look out for your Goodwill. And if you want to go on a mission tour to find out more about what Goodwill is doing right in our community here in Frederick and Carroll counties, you can reach out to Goodwill, and they would be happy to schedule it. You've got to go see that building and all the great things that are happening that aren't really Goodwill related, but community related. We love that. Thank you so much, Holly.
Thank you.
All right. Want to thank Holly Schor for that. Excuse me. All right. Excited to debut the next installment from the students at CTC. This week, Raymond and Liam present Farm to School.
Hello and good morning, Frederick. I'm here at Pleasant Hill Farms with Alicia Foyer, Executive Director of Farm to School Frederick. And I'm also here with Ben Saylor, owner of Pleasant Hill Produce and proud partner of Farm to School Frederick. So, Alicia, explain Farm to School Frederick.
So, Farm to School Frederick is a local nonprofit here in Frederick County, and we focus on increasing access to locally grown, highly nutritious food and getting it out to all residents in Frederick. We emphasize the schools and working with the school districts and getting food to children.
Yeah, giving kids access to fresh food. And yeah, Ben Saylor, explain your contribution to Farm School.
Yeah, so I've been working with Alicia and her project for 6 years now. So I think basically from the get-go, from the beginning. We are a diversified vegetable farm on about 6 acres of land. And we grow basically year-round with the use of high tunnels and greenhouses. We have lots of different sales outlets for our products. And one of my favorite is Farm to School, because the food's going to a really good cause, and that's very important to me.
Yeah, it's a great cause you two are working out here for, getting fresh food to kids around the county and teaching them something on the way about it. Speaking of important, Ben Saylor, explain why you wanted to get into farming.
Sure. Yeah. So I guess it all started. I was actually working for Flying Dog Brewery at the time while earning my master's in business. So as soon as I graduated from Mount St. Mary's with my business degree, I actually quit my job and then did some soul searching and tried to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. I know I wanted to start my own business, and starting a farm really just checked a lot of the boxes. I wanted to work outside. I always enjoyed gardening. I loved eating good food. There was the big push to eat local was really coming around. I knew there'd always be a market for my products, and I really wanted to do something when I'm on my deathbed. What did I do in my life? Did I contribute to society? Yeah, and I felt like growing food is one of the most intimate things you can do for people. It's what you eat and what keeps you alive. So here we are 11 years later, still making no money, but loving what we do.
Mad respect.
Thank you.
On the whole importance of farming, not too many kids really get the whole importance of farming, and half the time they don't even know where the food comes from. Explain your role in teaching kids the importance of that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We are becoming more and more disconnected to where our food comes from. And it's not just the kids, it's also adults. And we're just used to everything showing up and sometimes being prepared and ready when we buy it from restaurants and grocery stores. And so Farm to School Frederick really works hard to connect people to where their food comes from, how it grows, focusing on the different parts of the plant, the nutritional value, and even creating hands-on experiences where we can bring children out to the farm and learn about, seeing exactly how their food grows. We know that a lot of kids don't know that carrots grow under the ground and potatoes grow under the ground. And so when we can open eyes and show people all of the hard work of what farmers do to put food on our table and how critically important it is, they get really excited. And that helps build community and connection to not only just understanding where food comes from, but also taking care of their bodies and helping them be healthy and productive in their lives.
Yeah, it puts more of a spotlight on farming and all the hard work you guys put in.
Right.
All right, Ben, so what do you grow here?
So yeah, like I said, we're a diversified vegetable operation. So we grow mainly all vegetables, everything from zucchini and tomatoes to some of the oddball crops like kohlrabi and Asian eggplant and okra. Some of our big staple crops are things like salad mixes, lettuces, garlic, of course, tomatoes, are crops people like a lot. And then with Farm to School, then I can actually relate pretty well to what the school children are going to like to eat and also what they're going to be interested to be exposed to. I have 3 kids myself, and I remember the first time I showed my son a turnip, he looked at it like I had 2 heads on me because he thought that was not food. Yeah, pretty much. But then he tried it and loved it, and now he snacks on turnips. And I think that's what it's all about, is exposure and getting this food in front of kids who otherwise would never see it in their life probably. So it's a good way to expose them to new foods that they might not be getting at home or from the school already. And I've seen lots of times before where they try something, love it, and then when they get home, they're asking mom and dad to get some salad greens next time they're at the grocery store.
So Alicia, how are you teaching kids in school about local foods and fresh foods?
It is a lot of fun to teach kids about food. And one of the things that we do, we call them in-school field trips. And we partner with farmers. And sometimes they come into the school and share more about what they're growing. And other times we do taste tests with schools and with the students in the cafeteria. But for example, Farmer Ben is going to partner with us at an elementary school next week, and we're going to talk about peppers. And he's going to be able to bring peppers to the school. He's going to be able to introduce himself as a farmer, so they meet the farmer that's growing the food, and then they get to taste the pepper after they learn about the plant and the parts of the plant. And then they do a taste test, and they get to vote of, I liked it, I loved it, or, oh, maybe I'll try it again another time. We always try to encourage children to not say, I hate that food or I don't like that food. Say, not today, but maybe tomorrow, because their taste change every single day. Yeah, and so they love it. I mean, kohlrabi, you brought up kohlrabi. It's an unusual vegetable that a lot of people haven't tried. And we had kids chanting for more in the cafeteria saying, we want more. Yes, when we cut up a kohlrabi and sampled it. So taste tests are a really great way to do that. And we're just really grateful for Ben partnering with us, growing the food, but then also his willingness to come to the schools.
Yes. I want to thank the kids at CTC in the TV and media department for putting that together for us. All right. Coming up Monday, Possum Pets, sponsored by Pet and Home Care. Now the new owners of the Green Canine in Urbana. We're going to be talking about that too. That's very cool. Trending stories with Danny and Marco, and Carlia Summers, another do-gooder, will be featured on Monday. Tell a friend about Good Morning Frederick. Remember, 21 subscribers to get to 1,000. Then we're going to do our big giveaway. Have a great day, an amazing weekend. Let's get out there. Let's be great, Frederick.
From downtown streets